Oh, yeah, we back in the motherfucking building. 3kingsboxing.com. I'm here in the studio with my man, Mr. Senior Writer and Head of Public Relations at 3kingsboxing.com, Mr. Garrison Bout. How you doing today, brother?
Yeah. You know, man. I'm up in here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shot-town, baby. Shot-town in here. Yeah, man. We gonna get it.
Man, Shot-town looking bad right now, bro. Hey, who y'all best fighter? Adrien Granados? No. Wait. Prezzo Kiddo. That's who it is.
Hey, man. I'll lead 3 Kings, nigga.
Oh, shit.
Actually, you know, we got some Hall of Famers from this side of town.
Yeah, it's been a while. Man,
hey, you know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, one of our fighters whooped the shit out of a Roy Jones Jr.
Who is that?
I believe he gave Roy his first loss. I believe he gave Roy his first loss. Because see, Roy couldn't handle the pressure, so he hit the motherfucker when he was down. Oh, cheating ass.
So you talking about
PED failing ass motherfucker.
This is after he crumbled to the ground from getting knocked the fuck down. Whined to the ref because he got hit when his knee was down. What kind of bullshit is that? He didn't have to whine to the ref. Roy hit him. He fell back like, oh, he was all out, man, because Roy was like, this dude whooping my ass. And Roy was trying to protect that name. And, you know, what happened in the rematch, though?
I don't know, man. My TV wasn't working at that time. My internet was bad.
Suppose
he eventually took an L.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, supposedly. I think he took an L. Somehow Roy became champion again, moved up. Moved up to heavyweight, but we'll talk about that later. Of course, I'm your host, EJ2K Williams. Welcome everybody who's listening in right now. We're going to sit back and talk some boxing. If you follow 3kingsboxing.com, you know that we write articles on a daily basis in a 24/7 operation. Now we're going to bring what we write in articles in vocal format as we start the podcast. This will be episode number 2. All right, I'm going to start off with the first topic, and that's the hot one. Mr. Fat-ass Marcos Maidana is returning. But here's the news. Here's the funny shit about this. My man weighs every bit of 327 pounds. But he's going to magically lose. He's going to magically lose 180 pounds and get all the way back down to 147. Is this possible? Can he do this?
Okay, it's possible. And the question is, if he does it, these are my 2 things. There's only 2 things I know that can make you lose weight like that. Number 1, not eating. Number 2, crack. Right.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, the hospital has been known to make a motherfucker lose some serious weight too. Have you that hospital food?
Yeah, that happened to me, man. You're absolutely right.
You go in there a week, man, you lose 10 pounds. They got a program for you. But here's the thing is, my biggest question is why? Is it money? Because he seemed to be doing all right. Does he miss the fight game? He's been out a long time. And like this came out of nowhere because there was no indication he was coming back. It wasn't like he was in the gym, wasn't like he was sparring. So what is it that made him come back? But to show you just how much of an impact Marcos Maidana. See, this goes to show when I tell people all the time, man, fuck your record. You know what I'm saying? Like your record cannot tell you what the value of a fighter is. Now, Marcos Maidana is a social media star, not because of his antics outside the ring, but because of what he did in the ring. Right. So cats continue to follow him. Same thing with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was able to remain relevant because people, even though he wasn't fighting, but people still remember what he did in that ring. So the announcement of a guy that's 200-something pounds coming back has set the fucking internet on fire.
Yeah, it sure has, man. It sure has. Yeah, I listen, man. My thing is this, bro. First of all, you talking about a 5-year layoff. 5-year layoff,
damn,
dog.
It's been that long?
Been that long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was broke when he fought Floyd Mayweather.
I still have somewhat of hair on my head.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, we've had
shadow fade. You know what a shadow fade is?
Yeah, hell yeah. We've had life-altering changes since Maidana was last in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So a 5-year layoff, dog. 462 pounds. Right? He's talking about coming back in the summer. It's fucking February, dog. The summer officially starts what? May? Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's talking about coming back somewhere between May and August. You know what I mean? And it's already February. He weighs 537 pounds. How the fuck is a nigga that weighs 618 pounds going to come back from February to May and shed all 732 pounds?
This nigga gain weight every sentence.
I'm just saying, though, bro. I don't – listen, man. A lot of people are excited. Marcos Maidana was an exciting fighter. All bullshit aside, he was an exciting fighter. He's a two-weight champion. He was a champion at 140. He was a champion at 147. He gave Adrien Broner his first loss. He actually gave Floyd Mayweather some trouble in their first fight with that jab that Floyd Mayweather has always been susceptible to his entire career.
First one to expose Victor Ortiz.
Exactly. Yep. First one to expose Victor Ortiz. Was robbed, in my opinion, against Amir Khan. So he's had an excellent career. He's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? Always was a problem at whatever weight division he decided to campaign at. Mm-hmm. But my problem is this: 5 years out of the ring, dog, you've gained so much weight. You're not giving yourself that much time to shed a lot of that weight to get yourself back into form. In my opinion, 5 years out and gaining all that weight, you need about a year to get yourself back into shape and to be ready to get back into the ring. And that's at the very least, Bo. You know what I'm saying? And Marcos Maidana doesn't look any skinnier than he has, months prior. You know what I'm saying? When he made this announcement. So I don't know, man. I'm not excited by it. There's nobody I want to see Marcos Maidana fight at 147. I don't think he realistically can be a top contender at 147 right now. Mm-hmm. I don't think Marcos Maidana beats Adrien Broner if he were to come back. He couldn't beat Adrien Broner, bro. A guy he's already beaten, he loses that fight. I don't think Marcos Maidana can compete against Brandon Rios. And I'm being real, dog. Listen. Yes, power's the last thing to go, but everything else does go. If you get what I'm saying.
Especially when you ass 300 pounds.
Especially when you weigh 892 pounds. Exactly. So I'm not excited by it, though. I'd like to see him, if he absolutely hasn't come back in the summer, he's got to fight a cat with a record of 9 and 130, like them cats in the UK be fighting.
I think Carson, the cat that Kell Brook fought twice or 3 times. Yeah, his last name was like
Jones.
Carson Jones. Yeah,
that's who he's trying to fight.
No, but I'm saying that's the type of guy he'd have to fight, somebody with that kind of record.
Shit, I don't even know about Carson Jones, because Carson Jones is actually a serviceable journeyman. Yeah, he might fuck around and beat Marcos Maidana. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm talking about cats. Look at whoever's listening, go look at Kell Brook's his resume in the beginning. He fought a dude that was like 8 and 132. He fought him like 3 times, yo. That's who Marcos Maidana needs to fight right now. Probably 2 or 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I'm not interested in seeing him come back, man. And I think like I said, if he thinks he's gonna jump back in the fray at 30 or 36 years old, he's 35 right now. He's about to turn 36 in July. If he thinks he's about to jump right back into the fray, man, he's got another thing coming, man. Real talk.
I hate to disappoint you here, because here's the one thing, 2K, you are overlooking. Marcos Maidana, from a social media standpoint, from a boxing casual fan standpoint, is a name.
You're right.
Yeah, right now.
You're right, man. You're right, bro. Now. Nothing I can say about that.
He's a name. So him coming, look at him. Dude, the article we wrote boomed. That motherfucker just boomed out of no goddamn way.
Yeah, they jumped all over it.
Yeah, Ring TV. Ring Magazine even wrote about Marcos Maidana. They wrote about him even signing with Al Heyman. Ring Magazine wouldn't want to promote nothing like that. So he's a name, right? That's number one. Now, for all you guys out there, because we have to think for you guys, right? Oh, Tyson Fury did it. Yes. Here's the difference between Tyson Fury and Marcos Maidana. Tyson Fury does what when he's in the ring? I believe he boxes. I believe he uses his jab. He uses footwork. He uses movement. Marcos Maidana is not that kind of fighter. This is why we say learn boxing and know your fighters. Marcos Maidana's style of fighting is grueling. It's over aggressive, and it requires you to have high energy. A guy who spends training camp losing weight. We saw it with Brandon Rios. If you spend too much time in training camp losing weight, then it takes away from a lot of other things, and stamina is one of them. And can your body take a shot now? It's been 5 damn years, dude. Can your body take a shot? But Marcos Maidana is a serviceable enough name that if you put him in there with somebody and he gets that big knockout, Marcos Maidana is back. Watch Keith Thurman try to jump on that.
Oh,
I'm serious. Watch Keith Thurman try to jump on that. Watch Adrien Broner try to jump on that. And that's why they signed him to a multi-fight deal at PBC, because they know this dude is still a name. He's still a popular guy with the name. And all we got to do is get him in there, have him knock one guy out at 147, and I can throw him in there with Keith Thurman. Hell, if Earl Spence get past Mikey Garcia, here's another fight I can make. Hell, if Sean Porter get past Ugis, here's another fight I can make to prolong the inevitability of these guys fighting each other.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, there's nothing I can see. Broken down like a true genius. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's my head of public relations. You're absolutely correct. You know what I'm saying? There's not. I mean, it's all business.
Yep.
You know, and it's clear to see that it was all business when it was announced. You know, I mean, this came immediately after he said he was coming back. All of a sudden, he got a multi-fight deal with PBC. You know what I'm saying? So it is. You know, Al Heyman was like, hold up, let me jump all over this shit, bro, because if he does something well, I could throw him in there with a bunch of motherfuckers I got at welterweight. So, you know, listen, man, realistically, let me say this. Miguel Cruz, he had a comeback fight, had a comeback win. This is the guy that lost to Jose Cito Lopez,
right,
in which Jose Cito Lopez was given the opportunity to fight Keith Thurman, right? That's a good fight for Marcos Maidana and maybe his second fight back.
Okay.
First fight, he's really got to fight a cat. Like I said, that's 17 and 372. He got to fight a cat like that. Second fight,
got to fight a cat making his debut.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? On some
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, he took it right out my mouth, dog. Julio Cesar Chavez shit. Exactly. He got to do it like that. But the second fight, put him in there with a Miguel Cruz. You got a guy that comes forward. Miguel Cruz is a good fighter. We interviewed him. He's a really good dude. But he's one-dimensional. So that would be a good firefight between those two. Somebody like that, he's a PBC fighter. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. David Grayton, somebody like that. That's a guy that Miguel Cruz had already beaten. Somebody like that, you know, and then we could talk about, depending on how he looks in those fights, if he wins, then we could talk about him going up against one of the other guys in the division, the contenders or the top fighters. All right, Bo, what you got for me next, dog?
Man, Adrien Broner is saying, fuck Keith Thurman. He need to fix his speech impediments. No, this is how he said it. This is how he said it. What? Nah, man. Hey, let me tell you something. Y'all still gonna watch me and fuck Keith Thurman. He gotta fix his speech impediment. But you know what, though? He was in a hard fight, though. He was in a hard fight.
Yeah, he did say that.
But you know what, though? Al Heyman make that happen, man. I do that.
Yo, I'm sorry, man. Listen, I ragged the shit out of Adrien Broner on this channel. You know, everybody who follows this channel knows that. But Adrien Broner, he's a funny motherfucker, man. Real talk. Yeah. I laugh at a lot of funny,
and he's true to his word about how he'll fight anybody.
He'll fight anybody. You know, now, I think right now, Bo, it's all about money, though, right? It's all about money at this point in time. That's why he's still fighting. That's why he fought Pacquiao. He motherfucker knew he couldn't beat no goddamn Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Adrien Broner would have beat the Manny Pacquiao that fought Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? He just has too low a volume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did good for 2 rounds in that fight. And after that, he got caught and was done. You know what I'm saying? Went back, reverted right back to the old Adrien Broner. You know what I'm saying? So this motherfucker knew he couldn't beat no Manny Pacquiao. He knew he couldn't beat no Mikey Garcia, bro. He could barely make 140 fucking pounds and be healthy. And he was willing to go down to 144 Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, you know what I'm saying? It's a situation where Adrien Broner's like, man, just give me the fucking money. Just give me the paycheck. And he's saying it in so many words.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Instagram videos of this motherfucker at the club. Now, I will say this. I was going to mention it on the post, but I can't talk like that when I'm under the Three Kings guys. But right now we on Prodigy. Yo, I looked at the damn Instagram video. He's on the stage throwing money and shit, got his shirt off. I ain't seen no hoes. I saw about 8 niggas. Bro, come on, man. What is that?
So
you on the stage at a strip club.
What you trying to say?
Hey, listen. You on the stage at a strip club with your shirt off, throwing money in the air, and it's 6 dudes on the stage with you. Now, I had to look in the mirror behind him to see the reflection of a female that was nowhere near him. Come on, Bo. That's the kind of lifestyle Adrian's living right now. So yeah, he gonna fight anybody for them ducats, man. And that's what he's doing. Man, what do you think, man? Let me ask you this. Do you think Adrien Broner has a shot at Keith Thurman, yes or no? I lost you, fam. I lost you.
Okay, I'm sorry. At winning or fighting Keith Thurman? At winning or just fighting him?
Okay. Does he have a shot at the fight?
Yes, he does have a shot at the fight. He does. He does have a shot at the fight because the reality is, again, Adrien Broner right now, he's a name, man. And no matter how much we like it or don't like it, even though we know he ain't gonna win, people are still in love with this. Maybe we'll see this, maybe we'll see that, maybe we'll see something different. And that hope, is what I call the hope factor.
Yeah.
It's that hope that people are holding on. This dude, it's hard for anybody to believe that a cat that we were saying was going to be the next Floyd, that a cat was getting all these accolades, that won, he's a 4-division champion. It's hard to accept the fact that he's just a name now. So the fact that he's a name, the fact that his antics and tactics, he can land that fight, because think about it, who else whose name's not Earl Spence or Sean Porter or Terrence Crawford that Keith Thurman can fight that will be valuable enough for us to say, hey, that's worthy of either being a pay-per-view, or that's worthy of us saying, all right, Keith Thurman is back, because he fights Broner, flattens him and knocks him out. Then we'd be like, hey, no, we know AB wasn't all that good, but nobody ever knocked him out and flattened him. That ain't happened since Maidana. Hey, Keith Thurman might be back. So,
well, I think it's a part of what you said when we talked about Marcos Maidana. It's a name. Right? It's a name underneath the PBC brand. Listen, as many people that don't like Adrien Broner, guess what they're going to do whenever he announces he's getting ready to fight? They're going to watch.
Yep.
He's right. He said at the end of the Manny Pacquiao fight, yeah, I beat that motherfucker. And when he was looking like a fucking fool, everybody was booing him. The one thing he was correct on is y'all are still going to watch me fight. He's 100% correct when he says that because of his marketability factor, right? Yep. He's a marketable fighter. He's got the attitude. He's got the character, the persona. He's got all of that working for him, even though he can't win. He's got all that shit working for him, and cats can't get enough. They can't get enough watching Adrien Broner get his motherfucking ass whooped, bro. They're addicted to seeing Adrien Broner look like a fool in the ring. So everybody gonna watch, just like my man Right Move just said. Everybody gonna watch. You see what I'm saying? So that right there, that marketability factor is the reason why you keep seeing Adrien Broner in big fights. And a lot of people are, they were commenting on this article when we put this out there. Man, why does he keep getting big fights? I don't understand. It's the marketability. That's why. As long as he is a hot commodity in terms of marketability, because of so much hate he garners, he will always be a wild card in getting the big fights in whatever division he decides to go in. You see what I'm saying? So he absolutely has the opportunity to fight Keith Thurman. I'm actually saying I think that's a good fight for Keith Thurman next.
I actually think so too. Honestly speaking, I actually think that would be a good fight for Keith right now.
I agree. Josecito Lopez gave him some trouble, put him on Queer Street for a little while. He persevered. He adjusted. He ended up winning the fight. Put him in there with Adrien Broner. That's a good name. That's a nice little tune-up, which is ironic. We saying that shit about Adrien Broner right now, but it's a nice little tune-up. And then after that, we could talk about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, maybe a Danny Garcia a rematch and a Sean Porter rematch right after that fight. We could talk about that. It's a good fight for him.
You know what's funny about you saying tune-up is that I remember Adrien Broner got mad when Tim Bradley said that about him. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when Bradley said Adrien Broner's a tune-up fight for him?
Yeah. He called Tim Bradley a milk dud head motherfucker. I remember that. He a funny dude, man. But at the end of the day, he came back up his talk for shit, man. And there was a point in time, Bo, where I said, yo, if Adrien Broner can make 140 again, he could possibly be a champion. Ooh. Now that we looking at cats like Regis, Josh Taylor, Ivan Baranchyk, nah, you in between a rock and a hard place, fam.
Oh, dog, it's worse than that. Think about it, because he mentioned 135. Who's 135, man?
Hey man, listen. First of all, Adrien Broner too damn fat to make 135. That motherfucker ain't been at 135 since he beat Gavin Reese. He ain't fighting at no damn 130. Man, again, that was when I was broke. I was broker than broke back then. That was 2012. I had no money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got 3 kids right now. I had 1 kid when he fought Gavin Reese. That's how long ago that was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the last time he made 135. He ain't going down there, man. And if he does get down there, guess who's there like my man Bo was just alluding to? That big bad motherfucker that Gervonta Davis is being shied away from by Floyd Mayweather. We won't say no names, Vasily Lomachenko. But Jose Pedraza might beat Adrien Broner at 135. Hell, I think fucking what's his name if he goes back down to 135. Jorge Linares will beat Adrien Broner. Man, come on, man. Get out of here with that shit. Listen, Adrien Broner's best bet is that he's able to fight at cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying?
You stupid, dog.
Because hey, that's how much weight he gains in between fights, right? My man be walking. When he got that gut, I say about 185. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you about right.
He could fight at cruiserweight,
light heavyweight.
Yeah, he could. I don't want him at light heavyweight. Let him gain a little bit more weight past the 175-pound limit, so he could fight in cruiserweight. While Alexander Usyk's out, he gonna look nasty. He gonna look like my man from the Great White Hype, Damon Wayans. He gonna have that big ass gut from eating all that ice cream, but it's okay. Yeah. Usyk ain't gonna be there no more. He might get a title. He might get a title, bro.
You stupid.
All right, man. All right, man. We're gonna move into the next one. Yo, Jose Ramirez. And we told y'all, man, listen, man, this is why, listen, on a real talk note, all jokes aside. This is why y'all need to follow Three Kings, man. We like to joke around. We're very entertaining. We talk a lot of shit. But we know boxing, and we know boxing very well. Guys can shout out a topic in boxing. You know what I'm saying? They can shout out any topic in boxing where it's right now in any of the divisions, all 17 of the divisions, or we're talking about the history of the sport. Me and my man Bout and other people on my staff can talk to you about that topic without a script. We know the sport. And we told you guys prior to this fight happening that Jose Zepeda was going to be trouble for Jose Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Zepeda's a slick southpaw. We were saying this. I don't remember what podcast it was. I think it's back when we were still on Blog Talk Radio. You know what I'm saying? But we told you guys he was going to be a problem. The only loss Jose Zepeda had was against Terry Flanagan, and it was because he tore his rotator cuff. He had some type of shoulder injury, and he was forced to withdraw in the second round of that fight. It's the only loss he had.
And that should have been a no contest because it didn't go past 4 rounds.
Yeah.
That kind of messed me up with that decision there.
And the funny thing is about that is Zepeda was probably going to beat Terry Flanagan because it was a bad matchup stylistically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's we were telling y'all Jose Ramirez is going to have trouble in that fight. Hold on, y'all. I'm talking to my son. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Come on. All right. Good night, man. All right. Anyway, but
hold on, wait a minute. Pause. Hold on. Pause. Hold on, pause, man. You ain't finna get away with that. Yo, did y'all hear that? His son didn't come in like regular sons hugging. I love you, Dad. No, it's Dap. No, we niggas, right?
Y'all heard that?
we niggas right.
Yeah, man. That's my
right, good night, Dad.
That's my little dumb, man. You stop kissing the little boys at like 3 years old, man. You can't be kissing the little boys, man. That's my little dumb. But but real talk though, man. We told y'all Zepeda was gonna be a problem. And it's funny to me because a lot of cats were upset that Jose Ramirez looked so bad. But if you look at Ramirez in fights prior to this one, he's never shown to be a fighter that has good defense, right? Never shown to be a fighter that's even average on defense. Takes a lot of shots, man.
That's true.
He's offensively gifted. He's offensively talented. He can fight you on the inside. He can fight you at mid-range distance. Hell, he can employ the jab, being under the tutelage of Robert Garcia, who's good at teaching guys who are pressure fighters and maulers how to use the jab, a la Marcos Maidana, right?
Yep.
So he could actually fight from the outside behind that jab. He's not no masterclass boxer by any stretch of the fucking imagination, but he has that ability because of Robert Garcia. So he's definitely offensively gifted and offensively talented. But when fighters are able to time Jose Ramirez properly, he's going to have some trouble because he lacks so much on the defensive end. And that's why Jose Zepeda did an excellent job in that fight. The problem with Zepeda was that stamina was an issue. In my opinion.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My man was tired as hell from doing all that moving. Also, Jose Ramirez he had some good shots to the body that broke him down. I would say around round 7 is where you would see Zepeda getting broken down. You see the effects of him getting broken down. You know what I'm saying? So that was the problem for Zepeda and why he couldn't finish the fight as strong as he did. Now, on my scorecard, the 12th round was a must-win for Zepeda to get a draw. And the round was lackluster. Nobody really did anything until the last 20 seconds of the round. Jose Ramirez mustered up enough energy to basically flurry. He didn't land every shot, but he landed some shots. The problem was the work rate was unanswered by Zepeda. He was sitting up against the ropes. He was dodging shots, getting hit by some, dodging others, but he didn't come back.
That's true.
So he lost the round because of the flurry and the work rate by the champion. So that right there told me that Jose Ramirez won this fight, in my opinion, 7 rounds to 5. And that's what I believe one of the judges had it at. But it was an excellent fight stylistically. Now, you got Regis Prograis out there. This motherfucker went bananas on social media. And I'll let my man Bout tell you, man, as we all know, Bout has a pretty good relationship with Regis. It's a little bit more than journalist to fighter. They actually have actual conversations on the phone, man. What did Regis say when you talked to him yesterday?
He said Ramirez would be my easiest fight. He said it just like that, did not hesitate.
How long did it take him to respond to that?
Oh man, hold on. I'm finna grab my phone and read this to y'all. Read y'all exactly what I said to him.
Yeah, I mean,
I hit him up at 8:40. I said, man, I'm watching Ramirez Zepeda. Hell yeah, they didn't want that smoke. Looking at this, what's up, fam? He hit me back at 9:30. Ramirez would be my easiest fight. Exactly he said Ramirez would be my easiest fight.
Exactly. So, what do you think about that, man? Like, all jokes aside, how do you feel a Jose Ramirez fight will go with Regis Prograis if that were to happen?
Tim Bradley said it best. Tim Bradley himself, somebody had spoke to him. I don't remember who it was, but Tim Bradley, matter of fact, Regis was posting it all over social media. What Tim Bradley said, he said, he said he needs to stay away from a Regis Prograis, a guy that not only can box, but has the stamina and can punch, because he was getting hit several times by that straight left hand of Zepeda.
Right.
Also, we also know now Regis Prograis, he's not, from a stylistic standpoint, he don't fight the exact same way as Zepeda, right? Because there are times, he's kind of like Earl Spence to me. He doesn't necessarily move his head a lot. But the thing of it is, he has better footwork than Zepeda. Zepeda, for somebody that was trying to box in the later rounds, and this is how you know he was tired, he started taking that puncher stance. And that's when I knew, okay, yeah, you're getting tired because you're spreading your legs out too far. You wasn't doing that at first. Okay. Then a lot of his punches were arm punches. If you ever watch when he would jab, and then he would kind of like, he would throw that left hand. But when he throw that left hand, his left foot was almost even with his right foot. And I'm like, okay, that's an arm punch. He just trying to throw something to get in there. Well, Regis don't make those technical mistakes.
No, he doesn't.
Regis is able to be aggressive while always being in position to come at you and hit you with something. And he's a much better counter puncher than a lot of people give him credit for. He's very fast and he's powerful. He's not some dude that's gonna that you're gonna mentally break like Ramirez was able to do Zepeda with the body shots. So he's one of those dudes that in order, you're gonna have to take to give with him. And the question is, that take is gonna be hard. So I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's a very interesting fight, but I do understand why they didn't want to take it, because when you look at Zepeda and you look at, not Zepeda, you look at Ramirez and you look at what he had to endure in this fight, I don't see you in a Regis Prograis surviving something like that. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely
you don't survive something like that. And then he totally abandoned the jab. Well, no, if you don't give a guy like Regis something to be afraid of, because he's not afraid of anything anyway, he on your ass, man. Yeah. He on your ass.
The only thing that I can say that will stop Regis somewhat in his tracks at certain periods of the fight are the body shots. But at the same time, like you said, Jose Ramirez was wide open straight up the middle. And Regis is not a dumb fighter. Look at his fights against Terry Flanagan, Julius Ndongo, Julio Diaz. He's very smart. He's actually cerebral in the ring. He's not a dumb fighter by any stretch of the imagination. He can actually take advantage of his opponent's weaknesses in real time. You see what I'm saying? Of course, he watches tape and film. I mean, he's an advocate. He's a big fan of the sport when he's not in the ring. He's watching fights.
Yes, he is.
So, of course, he's watching film of his opponent. But the thing about Regis is he's one of those type of fighters that when he's in the ring and he sees something different that they may not have actually trained for or developed a game plan around, he can adjust his game plan and take advantage of that weakness in real time. And that right there is always going to be an advantage to the cerebral fighter when you get into the ring with a guy who relies more on brawn than brains. You see what I'm saying?
And I think one thing we can say is, because I know a lot of you guys gonna think we praising him, and we're not. We're just giving you facts. If you watch the fights, watch his progression from Joel Diaz, his progression from Joel Diaz all the way up until he fought just recently, not Julius Ndongo, he fought Terry Flanagan. Watch them fight, and you saw the progression. This what I'm saying is, this is a guy who showed you he has more wrinkles to his game. He's not one-dimensional. Jose Ramirez is semi-one-dimensional.
Oh, yeah, semi. Well, yeah, you know what? You're right. He is semi because
he's semi-one-dimensional.
Yeah, I mean, he listen. Somebody, I can't remember who told me this. I get a lot of messages after fights and people, wanted me to give them my take on fights and stuff like that. I can't remember who said it, so my bad for not shouting you out. But this person said that Jose Ramirez is pretty much what I said earlier. He's giftedly talented. He's very talented on the offensive end, but he likes to fight at heart. So he will abandon some of the tools, the other tools that he has, that can actually help him win fights because he likes to fight at heart. He likes to get at mid-range to inside distance, and he abandons everything else. Like you just mentioned a few moments ago, he abandoned the jab.
Man.
See, that's Jose Ramirez.
Acting like he never had it.
And that jab is working for him, man. It's actually pretty good. And one thing I will say that he incorporated that was actually fucking up Jose Zepeda and his ability to position himself late in the fight. Jose Ramirez is actually turning him.
Yes,
I saw some pivoting, fam, and I didn't expect that. I was like, hold up. This motherfucker just pivot?
Yeah, he did.
He must have traveled, though. That was a travel. You know what I'm saying? Get a ball back to Zepeda. That was a travel. And he did it a few more times. Like, nah, it wasn't a travel. You know what I'm saying? So I was surprised by that. But that, again, that is a testament to the fact that this guy has tools, but he doesn't always use them. You know what I'm saying? To the degree at which he should. And that, in my opinion, would be his downfall if you were to get in a ring with a Regis Prograis or Josh Taylor. And then you got this cat talking about, hey, I want to unify next. If I can't unify, then I'm going to 147. I can name 5 guys right now that beat his ass at 147. 5.
Yeah.
So
well, he's just talking because they trying to set him up to fight Maurice Hooker. So he's just talking and he knows that I'll go to 140. You ain't going to 147. I'm saying that's that moment talking to you.
yeah, no doubt. I feel
that. Because if you go to 147. The only guy you can look at fighting at 147 is Crawford because you're on that side of the fence.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
And I don't think Bob is going to do that right now.
Nah, that wouldn't be a smart move, man.
No, he wouldn't do that right now. So no, they're gonna set him up to fight Maurice Hooker. But you know what though? I think that one thing with Ramirez is that I think credit to Robert Garcia in this fight, because Robert Garcia has hit lately. He's been killing Freddie Roach. But credit, but credit Robert Garcia in this aspect of in the corner, the way he spoke to Ramirez, he constantly reminded him that, listen, you're not winning this fight, and you're not just going to win because you're a champion in your hometown. You have to go out there and fight. And I give him a lot of credit because he could have sat back on, oh, I'm not worried about you winning. No. He constantly reminded him of that, and he kept that in his ear, so much so that, like you said, in that 12th round, Ramirez pulled it out. He gutted out in that 12th. He fought like, hey, this is life or death, which is how Zepeda should have fought, in my opinion. Like, this is it. It's life or death. So yeah. Ramirez did that. So credit to Robert Garcia. And I think that switch from Freddie Roach to Robert Garcia definitely helped him, because you probably was getting some sparring with Mikey Garcia. And that's the reason why he was able to pivot, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. So, in my opinion, though, there's an opportunity for this fight to happen if Regis Prograis decides to withdraw out of the WBSS tournament. He's still on the fence about that. The WBSS is basically saying, hey, we're going to make the date with you to fight Kiro Relic, which will be his first opportunity at a world title. Now, a lot of people don't say that the WBA regular title is a real title because you got the super title, but I always go back to the whole Manny Pacquiao situation. You guys are calling Manny Pacquiao 8th division champion because he had the IBO title at junior welterweight. That means you need to give people who have the WBA regular title the opportunity to say they're a world champion, because that title is actually more prestigious than the IBO. You know what I'm saying?
Which is funny, but you're right.
Exactly. So it is what it is. That's his opportunity at a first world title. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But Jose Ramirez, I mean, he's, like you said at the end of the fight, he's tired of fighting guys that are mandatories and shit, or, sitting in the rankings. I think Zepeda was like number 14 in the WBC ranking, excuse me. So, he's kind of like, look, man, I'm fighting all comers. I'm trying to unify. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Bo, what you got for me next, dog?
Oh, baby, I'm finna make y'all mad with this one right here. I'm finna make y'all mad. Okay, so we know that there's a guy at 130 that's, holding this belt by the WBA, but, he's the super. But there's a cat at the regular division that we was hoping would probably challenge, that, they was looking at, if he win, he going to be the next guy for Davis, and, we can sell this. Yeah. Well, them plans kind of got screwed up as he was making, I believe this was a voluntary defense at Andrew Cancio, and Alberto Machado got laid the fuck out.
Boy.
Them body shots was fucking beautiful and brutal.
Oh, man.
And Machado never recovered. And see, this is what happens when you get a fighter and you don't put him in that tough fight. Like, I don't know about you guys, and some of you guys will say, oh, Machado been in a tough fight. No, he ain't never been in this type of a tough fight.
Nah.
He ain't never been in this. And he did not know what to do. He got hit to the body. That boy didn't know to hold. You know what I'm saying? That boy didn't know to get on his bicycles and move around. Now, of course, a lot of you guys will say, hey, when you get hit to the body, you really can't move. And I'll give you that. You're absolutely right. Okay. But once you realize you're hurt, you know that this is where your opponent's going. You have to do a better job at protecting the area. Andrew Cancio didn't even look at the head no goddamn more.
No.
He said, fuck his head.
Why? Yeah. Shit, dog. You can't take the body shot. I'm not even going to hit the head no more.
Yeah. And Machado lost. So now it throws a monkey wrench in the program. I think they'll probably try to run a rematch in him. But honestly, for Machado to get hurt by the punch he got hurt by, it was just a straight, I believe it was a straight right down the pipe that hit him.
Yeah, that's what started everything.
Say what now?
That's what started everything.
Right.
You're absolutely
correct.
So
if you're telling me a straight right down the pipe to the front part of your stomach did that much damage to you, that tells me it's time for you to move up. You're killing your body, trying to lose weight to the point where you're weakening yourself. And it's time for you to move up. And I felt that way maybe a fight or two ago for him. It's time for Alberto Machado to move up, man.
Yeah, well, listen, man. His manager came out. I think his name is like that. He came out and said, "Hey, these are the reasons why Alberto Machado lost to Andrew Cancio. The main reason is that he was weight drained, and you know he he walked into that fight severely dehydrated. You know, the weight for a long time had been hard for him to make, and it might be time for him to move up. That's what his manager is saying. Now, when you look at how he took those shots to the body and just crumpled, I mean, it was like there was nothing he could do after getting up from the first knockdown. I mean, he just looked like he was done after that. And like my man Bout said, it was just a straight right hand down the pipe. When you look at how his legs were affected, how his whole body chemistry was affected from that particular shot, you could tell that there might have been some conditioning issues. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Cancio is the same guy that got knocked out by Joseph Diaz in 2016. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, let me say this. Before this fight, if we would have said, hey, can Joseph Diaz beat Alberto Machado? We would have said no. Reason why is because Alberto Machado is a bigger guy. Joseph Diaz is at featherweight, right? So that tells you that Cancio actually came up from featherweight to fight Alberto Machado. You see what I'm saying? So it's a situation to me that even though his trainer, his manager was making how do I say it? He was making excuses and all that. It makes sense to me just based on how he reacted to the body shots, fam. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is my issue with the whole super title and regular title shit. Tank who did Tank beat to get the super title, Bo? Who'd he beat? I know who it is, but who'd he beat, dog? Who'd he beat to get the super title?
I forgot. I forgot. It wasn't Jose Pedraza.
No. That was when he had the IBF title. And
right,
he was fat and lost it on the scales. He fought Jesus Cuellar. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Now, let me tell you this.
It was for a vacant title, too.
Vacant WBA super title. Let me tell you this, though. Well, it wasn't vacant. He got upgraded. But let me tell you this. Jesus Cuellar had just lost to Abner Mares at fucking 126. So he brought him up to 126. Okay, that's cool. Right. Then you got him getting ready to fight Abner Mares, who had just lost to fucking Leo Santa Cruz at 126. So he brought him up to 126. Okay, all right. I got you. But then Abner Mares basically had a change of heart. He realized he was going to get fucked up and said, oh, damn, my eye hurts. Fuck, hold up. Let me go on this show with an eye patch. And then let me mention the old elbow injury. Yep, I'm out of fight, dog. Can't do it, right? That motherfucker had an epiphany and said, damn, I can't beat this motherfucker at 130. Nah, let me get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So then they said, oh, we already got the replacement, dog. Floyd Mayweather was on his shit. We already got the replacement. We like, hey, yo, who is it going to be, dog? Damn, man, it might be somebody good. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to move the date up. No, we're going to keep the date the same. Oh, y'all going to keep the date the same? Oh, man, this motherfucker going to fight Tom Cruise, man. And close enough. Hugo Ruiz and Tom Cruise, the same motherfuckers. Because the way Hugo Ruiz looked in that fight, Tom Cruise would have lasted the same time.
Yeah, that was
Ben Affleck, Tom Cruise, and fucking Matt Damon. All of them would have lasted the same amount of time as Hugo Ruiz. So that is my problem when we talk about this whole super and regular champion and who's the real champion, right? Gervonta Davis is probably the most gifted fighter at 130. No doubt about it. The most talented fighter at 130. By the way, Hugo Ruiz is a natural fucking super bantamweight, 122. Naturally, right? He fought at 126 prior to this fight. Okay. Now, this is my thing. Tank is the most talented fighter at 130. Yes, he's more talented than Masayuka Ito. And yes, he's more talented than Tevin Farmer. Yes. Okay. But the way Floyd Mayweather is moving him, he does not deserve to be the WBA super champion. Get that title to Andrew Cancio. Because he actually beat somebody who was actually out there fighting motherfuckers. Remember, Alberto Machado was getting his ass whooped by Jezreel Corrales. I'll take you back to October of 2017. Ooh. Alberto Machado was getting his ass whooped by Jezreel Corrales. If you don't remember who Corrales is, remember, that motherfucker was being talked about as the next opponent for Vasil Lomachenko if he would have beaten Alberto Machado. They were talking about that, right? So this is why y'all need to follow Three Kings. We know this shit, man.
I remember that fight too.
Yeah. Jezreel Corrales was whooping his ass, dog. All three judges had Corrales winning. But all of a sudden, Alberto Machado landed one of them shots, boy, and knocked his ass out in the 8th round, losing on all 3 scorecards. He needed a knockout, fam.
Yes, he did.
You know what I'm saying? So he's actually fighting. Then after they fought Rafael Mensa's pretty decent. Better than, I would say, Jesus Cuellar coming up from 126. Okay? Better than fucking Liam Walsh. You know what I'm saying? So that's what look, man. Do I need to continue? Do I need to continue, fam?
Resume, man. You killing this resume.
I'm killing it, dog. Listen, man, Tank is a very talented fighter. Yes. But he doesn't deserve to be the WBA super champion. I'm sorry. And he's sitting there fucking celebrating after he just knocked out Antonio Banderas. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey, man, you got your phone with you, man.
No, I ain't got my phone with me. Yeah, dude, it's right here. My point is...
All right, okay. Get your phone, man. Get your phone.
I'm just saying, man. You know, you knock out fucking Enrico Iglesias and you over there fucking celebrating this shit like you really that dude, man. Get the fuck out of here. I want to see him fight Andrew Cancio next. Oh. And I think he wins that fight, but at least it's a body, damn it. You know what I'm saying? At least it's somebody who's actually at 130 right now. You feel me?
Well,
so, what you think, man? What you think, man? I can go all day on this shit.
And I know you could, man. Here's the thing, man, about Gervonta Davis, right? This is a situation where we can clearly see it's not the fighter, it's the trainer. Okay. Now there was probably only one incident that I could say it was the fighter, and that's when him and Tevin Farmer was face to face at some fight, and he told Tevin, "Hey man, you get a belt, you know what I'm saying? You and we could talk." Well, he has a belt now, Tank. You see what you get me? So this is an instance where what's holding him back right now is I don't think they know how to move Gervonta Davis because are you going to get a fight? I mean, are you going to get a fight with him and Miguel Berchelt? I don't think so. Okay. Are you going to take that Tevin Farmer fight? No, because you don't want that fight to be on DAZN. Okay, and then Masayuki Ito is probably going to be fighting on ESPN. So they're trying to figure out how to move him, but how you move him isn't by, like you said, by bringing in a guy that he brought in, Hugo Ruiz, who's ranked number 9. And it damn sure wasn't trying to fight an Abner Mares. And don't tell me about Abner Mares. Well, he's ranked number 5. I stop. Don't talk to me about these rankings because how Mares is ranked number 5 after moving up and losing Leo Santa Cruz. Now, if he moved up and he hadn't fought Leo Santa Cruz, he was a former champion, then we got something we could talk about. But you're holding a number 5 ranking, dog, and you coming off 2 back-to-back losses? Oh, come on, man, stop. Right? So it's a situation of, yo, man, how are we going to move this kid? How do we want to move him? Because right now we have to be very careful because if we overplay our hand, it's going to be expected to get a lot out of him. If we underplay our hand, we'll devalue our fighter.
Yeah.
So, so it's kind of hard to move him. And on top of that, like it's not like we're talking about a guy because, he made weight on the second try, but clearly his body is growing out of that 130 pounds. So they're going to have to figure out some kind of way to do something because even let's say if Tank was a cat that could make 126, when you did some fights at 126, you can make for the cat. Right. That will work out, but that's not going to happen. And they're scared to move him up to 135 pounds because outside of the guys who are the champions up there, you have Rancis Bartholomew that's up there. You have Robert Easter Jr. That's up there. Now, are y'all figuring out where I'm going with this? I'm going with guys that are taller with longer arm reaches than him. You got Jorge Hernandez that's up there. You have Teofimo Lopez. You have Devin Haney. And Devin Haney is a cat he was popping shit to.
Devin Haney don't like him, man.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So it's like, well, man, how do we move this kid? So they're going to have to figure it out. But I do agree with you in this aspect right here. Tank is going to have to just come out and say, look, man, my next fight has got to be either unification or I'm going to fight this. And like, I'm with you, I'm going to fight this Andrew Cancio. And if, Alberto Machado them try to make that rematch, only problem is Andrew Garcia just won that belt. Don't be shocked if Top Rank try to grab him real quick, because you know how they are with that. Oh, you beat one of our fighters? Well, we have promotional rights.
Exactly.
That, you didn't know that was in the fine print, right?
Very, very, very good point.
We got promotional rights. That was like, Ray White at the bottom, get the magnifying glass and turn up to 1,000. Way right at the bottom. See that? Promotional.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's the thing. So they just gonna have to figure out how to move him. You know what? Let me ask you this: how would you feel about a fight against maybe Miguel Roman, or even a fight with Johnny Gonzalez?
So if he does that with Johnny Gonzalez, I'm not sure where he's even campaigning at right now. He was a WBC 126-pound champion, lost that to Gary Russell. I don't know where the fuck he's at now.
Well, they got him ranked. They got him ranked by the WBC in 130.
At 130?
When I was looking at earlier, they did.
Okay, Miguel Roman is 135. He just lost to Miguel Burchell.
Yeah, but Roman, Roman is he's still at 130. Burchell's at 130.
Okay. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different division.
Yeah,
130.
Yeah.
Yep, 130. So yeah, I do like the Miguel Roman fight. That would be an excellent fight, actually, because we've yet to see Tank fight a high pressure style like a Miguel Roman, high pressure, high volume. But the problem is they're not gonna put him in there with those guys, man.
No,
let me tell you how they're gonna move him, because you've been talking about, they need to figure out how to move him. Let me tell you how they're gonna move him, dog. They just said who's next. Floyd Mayweather said that he's going to put Gervonta Tank Davis in a fucking exhibition against Tenshin Nasukawa. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
Oh, come on, man. No, don't tell me. Oh,
it's there. Google. 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 It. You know what I'm saying? It's there, fam. This motherfucker had the nerve to say he's going to put Tank in an exhibition with the guy he just knocked out, who's a natural flyweight, by the way, in Japan. It's ridiculous, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of this shit, bro. I don't like Tank Davis. I'm putting it on the fucking record. But the thing is, I respect the fact that he is a very skilled fighter. But I don't like him. And I don't like how Floyd is moving him. I don't like Floyd outside of the ring any goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? And this is just adding to that. It's just adding to it.
This is crazy.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't. When I talk boxing, right? When I talk boxing, I talk, some of the bigger fighters in the sport, and then some of the guys that are being primed to be some of the big fighters in the sport. I don't talk Tank Davis, even though I should be. I don't, because I don't know who he's going to fight next. We don't know who he's going to fight next. We don't know what's going to happen next. Floyd just went on this big ass spiel again about how he don't got to rush to fight Lomachenko. You ain't got to rush to fight that. I did a video on this shit last year when a reporter asked Tank the question about fighting Lomachenko. Floyd immediately stepped in like motherfucking Kevin Costner, bodyguarding Whitney Houston and shit. Hey, let me get that. We don't have to wait for Vasily Lomachenko. Or what he said, we don't have to rush to fight Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko is 30 years old. He's got to rush. We ain't got to rush. Tank Davis fight, whoever put in front of him. Get the fuck out of here, man. He did the same thing after this fight. Oh, we ain't got to rush. Tank is making the same kind of money Vasily Lomachenko is making, but he's taking an easier route. What? And that's what he said, fam. That was the words.
That's almost as bad as Angel Garcia's. Why should we fight a killer when we can fight Rod Salkers?
It's worse. It's worse than that, fam.
Yeah.
Why should we fight Keith Thurman when we could fight a Rod Selka and make the same amount of money? It's worse than that. Because Tank has been fighting Rod Selkers. You know what I'm saying? Or at least when he moves guys up to his weight class to fight him, they become Rod Selkers. But at their home weight division, they're not that. You see what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. I consider Liam Walsh a fucking Rod Selka. Nobody knows him. And nobody knew him after he got knocked out.
Oh, shit. I'll take it a step further. We don't even know where he is. Yeah. Where is he?
I ain't heard Liam Walsh ever since then. UK, where y'all at, man? Where's Liam Walsh?
Yeah, I'm scanning the ranking system as you speak right now, trying to find
fucking Liam Walsh, man.
Right now, I'm trying to find his name in the ranking system as we talking right now.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Liam Walsh is a made-up character, man. He's a creative player from NBA Live and shit. That's who Liam Walsh is, man. You know what I'm saying? They created this motherfucker. Remember all the old NBA Live games? They didn't have Michael Jordan. They had roster player 95, roster player 96. That's Liam Walsh. Roster player Walsh.
That's
fuck out of here.
Roster player 93.
Oh, that's Liam Walsh, fam. Fuck out of here, man.
That's so true, man.
Man, let's move on to the next one, man. Let's talk about some boxing, some real shit, man. My man, Ray Beltran, man, he just made his presence known at 140 pounds. The guy he beat, I was telling cats about Hiroki Okada. Hiroki Okada is a pretty good fighter. He wasn't a great fighter. He looked bad in his last fight, which was his U.S. debut. And I think it had a lot to do with his jitters. Hell, Naoya Inoue looked bad in his U.S. debut, even though he won the fight. Clearly, he still looked bad. He didn't look the way he looked at Japan. The same thing happened to Okada. But the thing is with him is that I thought he was a good fighter, but I didn't think his #2 ranking by the WBO was going to did him justice. You know, given his skill set and how much behind he was, he probably should have been ranked under 10. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like 11, 12, 13. Give him some time to get, you know, to master his skills a little bit before, you know, the WBO and other fighters within the WBO start to basically expect him to uphold his ranking, so to speak. But and that's what happened, obviously, right? Got in there with Ray Beltran. He had to uphold his ranking. He did pretty good, man, early on in the fight, man. He did good boxing from the outside. That straight right hand down the pipe was killing. Ray Beltran. The jab was killing Ray Beltran. It was actually a jab straight right combination that was killing Ray Beltran. But the problem was when this motherfucker would circle, he always circled to his right, which was Ray Beltran's left. But see, he must not have read no film or watched no film on Ray Beltran. He must not have read the scouting report on Ray Beltran. Even though he's an orthodox fighter, his power hand is his left hand. His big shot is his left hook. So he was like, well, let me circle to what I perceive to be his weak hand because it's his lead hand. But he was actually circling to the most powerful punch that Ray Beltran has, and that's the left hook. And it was killing Hiroki Okada the entire
Put him on his
night.
ass in the second round.
Yeah, put him on his ass in the second round. Exactly. Put him on his ass in the second round and actually hurt the motherfucker at the end of the fight. But he was finished by a right hook. Go figure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was a decent fight, man. I actually liked the fight. It could have been candidate for fight of the year if it would have went 12 straight rounds because he was actually piecing up Ray Beltran. But and a lot of the questions about Beltran moving up to 140 after, of course, losing his WBO title to Jose Pedraza. A lot of the questions were, would his power, you know, come with him up to 140 pounds? And it did so. It did so very well. You know what I'm saying? But I believe he fought the right opponent. I don't believe Ray Beltran is a force or will be a force at 140. I don't think he threatens guys like Kirill Relic, who, if Regis stays in the WBSS and fights him, he will be soon knocked out of the WBSS because Regis is going to whoop his ass. So I don't see Ray Beltran being a problem for a guy like Kirill Relic. I don't see him being a problem for a guy like Ivan Baranchyk, who I believe will lose to Josh Taylor. Maybe guys like Ryan Martin, you know what I'm saying, who's still trying to be somebody at 140. You know, Ray Beltran at best will be a gatekeeper / contender. You know what I'm saying? The rankings will make him a contender. But in reality, at 36, he's turning 37, or he might already be 37 years old. He's really a gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? This fight and this win, this knockout, the way that he won this fight in that fashion actually breathed a little bit of life into his career that was pretty much already done. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good win for him. I'm not shitting on him by any means. But let's be realistic. At 140, the landscape there, man, he really can't do anything there. What do you think about that, man?
I think you're absolutely right when you say he's a gatekeeper. That was the reason why he fought Okada.
Yeah,
Hiroki Okada, because the fact that they're trying to see, although Okada is ranked number 2, but you know, they're trying to move him from contender you know, into championship material, and fighting an ex former world champion is the way that you do that. That's the measuring stick for a lot of fighters. Okay, are you ready for that next level? How do we find that out? We put you in there against someone that's been at that level. So you're absolutely right when you say he's a gatekeeper, and you're absolutely right when you say he beats a lot of the second tier guys. Like, I would like to see him fight Pablo Cesar-Cano. I think that would be right. I would love to see him. Let's see what Lipinus is still made of. Edward Travanovsky. Let's see what he's still made of. Antonio Roscoe. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what he's still made of. You got Chris Algieri that's still there. You got Liam Paro. So you're absolutely right. He beats a lot of those second tier guys. But when you start looking up at the upper echelon, the hookers, the hookers, the soon to be ex-champion Ivan Baranchi, the soon to be ex-champion Kyle Relic.
Yeah, right.
Jose Ramirez. When you look at those guys, you know, when you look at them, you know, like the Jack Carterall, even Jack Carterall.
Hell no.
Right,
no,
right.
Jack Carterall, Mario
Barrios. Right, Jack Carterall, Mario Barrios. He don't beat them, but what he does is he presents a test to see for guys like Jack Carterall and Mario Barrios. Okay, is my guy ready for their next step?
Yeah,
especially Mario. But I think Mario Barrios needs Ray Beltran a lot more than Jack Carterall probably needs him.
Well, Barrios don't know what division he want to be in. He's at welterweight, junior welterweight.
Right, exactly.
He's going back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, they won't step him up just yet. They still talking about a year. But I think Beltran and Mario Barrios would be good to figure out. So you're absolutely right at that. But the funny thing about it is, Ray Beltran, outside of the fact that the guy has this story that you just love, he also has that fighter's fucking mentality.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he has that shit to his core.
You know what, man? I really believe that Bob Arum is dangling that citizenship over his head, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man, bro. Before he got the WBO title, it was like
comment by EJ Will 2K is they have nothing to do with reflecting on Three Kings Boxing.
I'm just saying, bro. 2 fights before he won the WBO title, the narrative was he's fighting for his citizenship.
That's true.
Nigga, we talking like 6 fights later, bro. He's still fighting for his citizenship. I think Bob Arum is like, hey, bro, I'm telling you, it's like the old man from the Geico commercial, dog. He got the damn fishing line. Oh, you almost had it. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's doing to him, fam. I'm telling you. Oh, you almost had it. He's doing that to him, fam.
Oh, man.
And that's why Beltran is willing to fight every fucking body. I'm not taking anything away from his heart. Yeah. You know, he's always been that way, but he's really like that now. He's like, you know, and they actually alluded to it on the telecast. I think Andre Ward said this. He said, I believe he's still fighting for the money. Now, Andre Ward ain't going to come out and say, I believe he's fighting for his citizenship. So he substituted money for citizenship. You know what I'm saying? But that's the reality, in my opinion. He's fighting for his citizenship, and that's why he's going to get in the ring with whoever the fuck anybody, you know, Bob Arum or Todd DeBuff put in front of him at the age of 37, because he's trying to get that citizenship. I guarantee you, if he gets that motherfucker, he's retiring. How much you want to bet?
Yeah, you're right, because here's the one thing is you have to one of the dealings that you have to qualify for getting the citizenship is proving that you can contribute, or you know, you're contributing to society. In other words, you're not going to be a criminal. And if he's not, the boxing is his trade. So if you're not boxing, you know what I'm saying, how are you making money? So you're absolutely right. Andre, I mean, I don't know, you know, Dre is a very smart guy, But in this instance, like, okay, Dre, everybody's fighting for the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I think what Dre is saying is this late in his career, he's still doing it for money. I think it's the fact that fighters, there are some fighters that just don't transition into the second half of a not having a boxing career smoothly. Okay, right. We've seen motherfuckers, revert to selling drugs.
Oh shit! Yeah, them dudes moving them keys, man.
Moving them keys. Shit, okay. You know what I'm saying? We've seen motherfuckers, go off, what I'm saying, slapping prostitutes, and you know what I'm saying. Yep.
That motherfucker's still active.
Right. So yes.
That motherfucker's still an active fighter, smacking prostitutes, man.
but you're absolutely right. So I just think a cat like Ray Beltran, he's one of those dudes that this is just who he is, and if he's not fighting, he doesn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like Orlando Salido in that aspect. Yeah. He's not fighting, he just don't know what to do with himself. You know what I'm saying? So, but I look, I would like to see Beltran get one more title shot and hopefully get a big payday and go out, only because of the fact that you're right about this. I don't want to see him get in these fights where he get hurt, and this becomes an all too much of a theme in boxing is guys staying around longer than what they should.
Right.
We seen it happen to Evander Holyfield. We seen it happen to Mike Tyson. James, you know what I'm saying? Guys hang around longer than what they should. So So I mean, I like him, but I'm with you on that, man. Ray Beltran beating Okada. If you watch that matchup from a stylistic standpoint, this is perfect for him. See, the thing about Jose Pedraza is, outside of the fact that Jose Pedraza can box, but Pedraza is also a very good inside fighter. Well, Okada is not a very good inside fighter by no shake of the means. And Okada throws a lot of punches, but he throws what I like to call pity pat punches with one or two of them being hard. He doesn't plant and you know what I'm saying? He doesn't and 2K, you'll appreciate this phrase. He don't twist his ass in his punches. Behind that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wait a minute. Seriously, look at that punch that Beltran hit Okada with. He twisted ass, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't looking at his ass, but yeah, I get where you're going.
You know what I'm saying?
I get where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a situation. You named some good names there. That he could be a good step up name for. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it is really a situation, in my opinion, that he's just fighting to get that citizenship, man. And hopefully Bob Brown starts fucking with him and gives it to him, man. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't believe he'll ever be a champion again, especially at 140. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. I agree with that aspect. It's not going to happen.
Hey, man, there's something that we missed before you give me the last topic. I want to go back and talk about something that happened earlier today, and you wrote on this. Ryan Garcia calling out Gervonta Davis.
Yes.
What do you think about that, man?
I think that is an excellent fight. Now, here's the thing.
Okay.
I don't think that fight's going to happen. Ryan Garcia,
no,
he is in the ranking system at the WBA, but he's number 4, and he's with top rank. So I think what'll happen is an opportunity is opened up.
Ryan Garcia is with Golden Boy, fam.
I'm sorry, you're right. With Golden Boy, and Golden Boy fight on DAZN.
Right.
Pretty much, Golden Boy fighters are going to be featured on DAZN.
Right.
Okay. Because now, of course, we all know Canelo has the contract, but I haven't seen Golden Boy fighters fight on nothing else other than Right.
Ever since they signed that deal with them, they've been putting all of their fighters on DAZN.
Right. Yeah. So Ryan Garcia is going to fight on DAZN. So you already have a situation with them not even want to deal with Eddie Hearns at all, period. Or have a fighter fight on there with Tevin Farmer. So an opportunity is opened up for Ryan Garcia because the WBO president just said, hell no, we not letting Masahiro Ito fight a cat that ain't even in the top 15 in our ranking system in
Jamel Herring.
Jamel Herring.
Yep.
Ryan Garcia is ranked number 1.
Yep.
So Bob could be like, all right, well, fuck it then. We'll make the fight with Ryan Garcia. And if Ryan Garcia grabbed that belt, Then you can probably look at a unification matchup. Okay, you can probably look at a unification matchup. The only thing is that Golden Boy would have to agree to allow Ryan Garcia to fight on ESPN and fight Masahito Ito for that, which I think they probably would do that. They probably let him fight on there, just, you know what I'm saying, to make their title fight.
I don't know, man, because that deal seems to be pretty solid with DAZN. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure, man. That's a tough one for me to agree to. I don't know, man.
Well, I put it, you know what? I put it like this. This would test what both Bob and Eddie Hearns has been telling us is, you know, we're looking to make the best fights. You can keep your promotional rights. We're just looking to make the best fights to show on our platform. So this would definitely put that to the test.
Well, the problem is DAZN is a platform. You feel me? See, he's promoted by Golden Boy, but he's on the DAZN platform, which is equivalent to being promoted by Top Rank, but being on the ESPN platform.
Right.
You see, DAZN is not ready to split profits with any other platform right now.
And that's something that you alluded to in our very first episode. You're absolutely right.
Right. So I don't know about that one, man. That's a difficult one to gauge. I think Ryan Garcia will be fighting, you know, free agents. And what I mean by free agents is guys that aren't tied to any type of network who are willing to go on DAZN for that particular fight, and fighters who are with DAZN. That's who I think he's going to be fighting.
They're going to have to do something, because if the WBO orders that fight, they're going to have to figure something out.
You know, and there might be a situation where they don't order it, fam. Like look at Jack Catterall. Yeah, look at Jack Catterall and Maurice Hooker.
Yeah.
You know, Maurice Hooker's fighting the number 17 ranked French nigga from Trinidad that lives in Brooklyn. How the fuck you from Trinidad with a French name raised in Brooklyn? You know what I'm saying? He fighting that cat, bro. But instead of fighting Jack Catterall, who is open right now, Jack Catterall doesn't have a fight schedule. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, Maurice Hooker's taking that fight on short notice. He wants to fight March 9th. Nigga, they just announced that fight last week.
Yeah, they did.
So he's taking it on very short notice. It's clear to me that the Jack Catterall, who's the number one ranked WBO fighter at 140 for that title, they didn't want to order that because of the Eddie Hearn-Frank Warren rivalry.
Yeah, exactly.
Know? So
because
they're
having a hell of a time. They had a hell of a time with that Kid Galahad and Josh Warrington situation. Exactly. So they're not trying to do that. They're not trying to go through that shit again. Same thing could happen with Ryan Garcia and Masahito Ito. So I don't know, man. But my thing is, I want to see him fight Tank. I want to see that fight, because think about it, man. Ryan Garcia, undefeated, young. He's 20 years old. Okay, and Tank's a little bit older than him. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that fight, to be perfectly honest with you, because at least I could say, okay, this is a more valued opponent than, I mean, of course, if you can't get Andrew Cancio, that's the fight I think they should be pursuing, is that Andrew Cancio.
Right.
Okay, because the way he beat Machado, it was extremely impressive.
Right.
So that's the fight I would like to see.
He's got buzz behind him, and I think Tank beats him. So that'd be a good win.
It would definitely be a good win. It would be something that we can start giving you some kind of credit for doing something. All right. I don't want to see you fight, you know, Brian Vasquez. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you fight Ricardo Nunez, you know, Edna Cherry. You know? Yeah, right. Brian Valoria. I don't want to see you fight none of them cats. All right. So if you don't get the Andrew, you know, Cancio fight, then man, I would somewhat entertain that Ryan Garcia fight. The only problem is Floyd and them has made it, because now here's the hiccup. If you make that fight and Davis winds up on his own, now Tank comes under attack for not fighting Farmer.
Exactly. Because
it was offer made for you. So it's a catch-22 for him, man.
Damn, man. You know, the funny thing is, when we shared that article, I got a lot of hits on that motherfucker, man. It's actually, my phone is vibrating right now because of the hits probably on that article. And a lot of people, just like my man Eric in the chat, is saying that he's going to get murdered if he fought a Tank. You know, your sentiment is, I want to see that fight. It's a good fight. But the majority of people think Ryan Garcia gets murdered. And I think it's because, you know, boxing is all about, the here and now and shit. Recently, Tank just murdered a guy that fights at 106 pounds normally. You know what I'm saying? So
that upsets me because when you know why that upsets me when I hear people say that. Are you studying fights? Because Ryan Garcia is not this dude that he just fought.
Yeah, he's not trash. Ryan Garcia is he's a very good fighter, man.
He has a better ring IQ than a lot of cats give him credit for.
Right.
Right. I mean, he's better than this guy that I last. You know what? Because the reality is, if you take away the obvious name, which of course is Tevin Farmer, okay, and you take away them names. And I say, okay, then take off Tevin Farmer or any other champion. But yeah, take all the champions off and give me 5 names. You're gonna have to mention Ryan Garcia in there. Right. I mean, who else do we know that holds value?
Yeah.
Who? Lamont Rose Jr. Well, he's with Golden Boy too.
Yeah, Lamont Rose Jr. That motherfucker. Then he loses somebody, or he had a draw. He had a draw with the gay guy.
Cruz.
Orlando Cruz. Yeah. That motherfucker had a draw with the gay guy, man.
Yeah, who? Lee Shelby? Well, Lee Shelby just we saw him get whooped. Scott Quigg? Nah, no, thank you.
Yeah, Lee Shelby did move up to 130. You're right about that.
Yeah, Scott Quigg? No, thank you. Nah. Jason Sosa? Not interested.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, yeah. Scott Quigg, that motherfucker ain't been right since he lost to Carl Frampton.
Dennis Shafikov would be interested. Because he's a hard-nosed, grimy fighter.
Dennis Shafikov moved up.
Would be interesting. Yeah,
he moved up. He ain't 130 no more. He moved up.
Oh, okay. Well, see, there you go.
yeah, he moved up in weight.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, man. But what you got for me last, man?
Oh man, Erickson Lubin became the first to stop Erickson Lubin became the first to stop the contender finalist, former Golden Gloves runner-up. In the Olympics.
Yo, hold up. Stop.
Oh man, I got Wikipedia open here, man.
Stop it. See, we got to go back in Ishe Smith's past, like his former life, to talk about his good deeds. We got to go back to 1847 and talk about the shit Ishe Smith did that was good in order to hype up Erickson Lubin knocking him out. Plus, he's 40 years old, by the way. Just a little tidbit.
Yeah, but hold on. See, hold on. 40, you ain't dead at 40. I mean, motherfuckers have won world championships past 40.
I tell you what, man. Basketball is a less grueling sport than boxing. And at 35 in basketball, you consider old. So what the fuck are you in boxing? You ancient, bro. You got an AARP card in boxing. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man. Listen, man. I ain't gonna shit on it too much. It's a good win for Erickson Lubin. The accolade is nothing because of Ishe Smith.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, Ishe Smith has lost what? His last, I'm not looking at his resume or anything, but I believe he's lost his last 3 fights. You know what I'm saying? He's 40 years old. I mean, he's one of Floyd Mayweather's poodles and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they fucking is Ishe Smith and J. Leon Love. Floyd Mayweather got 2 poodles. They twins. Them 2 niggas. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's who Ishe Smith is. No disrespect, but it is what it is, man. You living under another man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's all that. I mean, J. Leon Love about to get his ass whooped by David Benavidez. Go figure. Next month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what these guys are for. Floyd just says, "Hey, man, which one of my poodles do you want to fight?" So you get your name out there a little bit. Oh, Ishe Smith, bet. Ishe, get your ass out there. Hurry up, boy. Get your ass out there. That's what happened. That's what happened. So, I mean, listen, man, it's a good win for Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to come back a new fighter dealing with Kevin Cunningham since the knockout loss. You know what I'm saying? Ishe Smith is a good name for that. But the accolade of being the first to stop him, and he's really celebrating that. That's nothing he should celebrate. get one of the contenders at 154. You know, maybe if Erickson Lara beats Brian Castano, target him. You see what I'm saying? That's a good fight. What's the French guy's name? Michael Soto, Michel Soto, however you say his name. That cat, that's a good fight. That's a good fight for Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? So guys like that, if you're stopping guys like that, or if you're winning decisively against guys like that, that's when you're like, okay, I'm ready to celebrate my comeback. I'm ready to say, hey, I've recovered from the knockout loss and I want my rematch. But being a guy like Ishe Smith, it's a good name, but when you look at the details, the fine print, it really means nothing, man. What do you think?
All right. This is where I say a more political quote. All right. I'm going to get political here. I agree from a boxing enthusiast standpoint of what you said, but as a boxing casual fan, I disagree. You're Erickson Lubin. You are trying to gain momentum. You are trying to prove to everybody that their Charlo loss was a fluke. You're trying to fight your way back in title contention. Show your ass for knocking out Ishe Smith. Yo, jump up and down, get billboards of being the first to stop that motherfucker. Nobody stopped them, okay? Now, this is where you have to pretend you're a Republican. Leave out certain details. You know, leave out the 40-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Leave it out. You know what I'm saying? Leave out the fact that he's 6-4 in his last 10 fights. Leave that out. Leave out the fact that he lost his last 2 prior to you. Leave that shit out.
You know who else is 6-4 in their last 10? Adrien Broner. Anyway, go ahead.
And that's off the gip, ladies and gentlemen. That's off the gip. That's off the gip. So leave that out, because just like Adrien Broner, everybody jumps up and down and get kudos when they beat him. So you should look to do the same thing for beating Ishe Smith. Now, as a boxing enthusiast, you don't sit your ass the fuck down and quit trying to make this shit look like you did a great, fantastic feat.
Right.
Okay. And I do agree with you with this right here. You got I think the next guy Lubin should target, I would like to see him target, is Austin Trout. That's a big guy you should go after.
That's a good one.
I would like to see him go after Austin Trout, because Austin Trout is still good enough, and he's still somewhat decent of a name. Okay. Or you can target the guy that me and 2K got the privilege of seeing, Patrick Day. We just saw this guy. Patrick Day just won his fight.
He fucked Patrick Day up, man. I was thinking more so a Charles Hatley.
Man, you don't get that shit out of here.
Hey, a John Jackson.
Okay, John Jackson. Yeah, I give you John Jackson.
Yeah.
I give you John Jackson. Yeah.
Willie Nelson.
Now,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My man Willie. It's not Willie, it's Wooly.
Yeah, that would
Willie Nelson.
Damn, I forgot about him. You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That
Those
would be
type
a good
of caliber
fight
fighters, man. That's what I want to see him against, man.
Yeah, but I think Austin Trout would be really good for him. Austin Trout being a former world champion, fighting at that level. That now, if you beat him, that's when we know, all right, man, I'll give you kudos for that. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you from that standpoint. Ishe Smith, I mean, like you said, man, there's him and Jay Leon Love and Mickey Bay. Like I ain't gonna never let that go. I ain't gonna never let that secondary over there.
What happened to Mickey Bay, man?
He had to deliver them papers to Tank to let Tank know he fighting an exhibition fight.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, because I ain't seen that motherfucker since he lost to Miguel Vasquez. You know what I'm saying? After that, Mickey Bay been again. That's another motherfucker. Floyd Mayweather be having these cats around him, man. This shit is funny as fuck. What happened to Ashley Theophane, man?
Oh, God.
Floyd brought him in just so he could lose to Broner, and that was that. You know what I'm saying?
Had him believing he was going to beat Broner. Like, Theophane was jumping up and down. I was like, whoa, hold on, Ashley. Floyd is like, you know what I mean, man, dude, don't let Floyd hype you up, because he don't like you no more than Broner. You know what I'm saying? He don't like you more than Broner.
Here's the first problem right here, Bo. His name is Ashley. You ain't beat nobody. Your fucking name is Ashley, man. Y'all know I talk a lot of shit, man. No love lost here. This is just what I do. We respect all the fighters, man. We're former fighters. We're former fighters anyway, former amateurs, both me and Bo, and other guys on my staff at 3kingsboxing.com. We love the sport. We like to talk shit. We got to keep it entertaining for everybody, but we understand what goes on in that squared circle. So respect to every man that wakes up every morning, every man and woman, by the way, that wakes up every morning and makes a decision. If they're amateurs, to put that headgear on. If they're professionals, to put them gloves and shoes and no headgear and walk into the ring and give it their all every single night. All right? This is all for entertainment. I don't want nobody hitting me up. Hey, man, what the fuck, man? I heard what you said. They're going to do that anyway because they're going to hear the first part of what you said and hit the pause button. I heard what you said, man, bro. You don't share motherfucking poodle, nigga. Nah, bro. I'm 215 pounds, man. This is a whole different situation over here.
That's right. I'm 175. Goddamn it.
No, you're not. But anyway, nah. I want to thank my man Bo.
Hold on, man. Before you close out the show, I gotta say something. I gotta say something.
What we got
for Black History Month?
Okay.
Black History Month tribute, Mr. EJ Will, for being the first guy from 3 Kings Boxing to be on Max Kellerman's very first show, the post-fight presser.
Yeah.
So y'all don't know. Go check out EJ Will and his, his expensive ass motherfucking $300 shirt, with his expensive ass motherfucking hat, with his little gold tee, light skin ass, you know what I'm saying? Check that motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? Now you're not gonna hear the famous catchphrase, get the fuck out. You're not gonna hear that, but you at least get to see Black History Month tribute, EJ Will, baby, 3 Kings Boxing.
I wasn't even gonna say shit about that, but since he mentioned it, he's absolutely right. I'll put like a little clip of the question I asked Max Kellerman. Shout out to Max Kellerman for that. I didn't think he was gonna actually use it. He did mention before. When we were getting ready to interview him that if he likes it, he likes the clip, that he would use it on his show. I didn't think he was going to use it, but he did. So I did feature on Max Kellerman's new show, Max on Boxing, that comes on every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. And you can catch the replays of his show on ESPN Watch over the ESPN app. But I will put the clip of that on my channel. It's all over Facebook. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Twitter. If you haven't already followed us on there, go ahead. Follow us on Twitter at 3 Kings Boxing. Instagram at 3 Kings Boxing, of course, Facebook.com/3 Kings Boxing. All the shit is on there. But I will be putting it on this channel just to show you guys, because I know Bo wants me to fucking do it, as he just mentioned this. You know what I'm saying? It's a win, but I'm one of them guys that's like, hey, that's what's up. I appreciate it, Max Kellerman, but let's move on. This is just the beginning. We got to keep moving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
that's right.
That's what's up. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's affiliated with 3kingsboxing.com. I want to thank my man Garrison, Bo Bland, head of public relations and senior writer at 3kingsboxing.com. Thank everybody in the chat for being here. Also, guys, like and share this podcast. Now, the only way you get it popping on YouTube is if we got people who support us, that like our videos and share the content. Y'all know this is one of the hottest podcasts on YouTube. We bring the entertainment as well as the knowledge. So you're going to be laughing and you're going to learn something at the same time. So go ahead and share this shit. Don't be shy. Hit that like button. Get us out there. Also, in the meantime, hit up 3kingsboxing.com to get the latest and greatest in boxing news and information. Also, hit that donate button on the website. These authors put a lot of their hard work, their blood, sweat, and tears in this 24/7, 365-day operation. We never sleep. We're always putting shit out there. 1 cent, 50 cent, $1. That will do. And shout out to everybody who's already donated. Appreciate you guys. All right. We out. One love.